happy you're here.
Thank you.
Well, now you have a brand new show. Congratulations. And I'm obsessed with this because I love learning about ancient civilizations, mysteries. Okay, so how did this show come about?
I've just always been really into archaeology and anthropology and paleontology, all of the ologies. Yeah. I woke up one day and was like, I need to go, I want to be Indiana Jones.
I totally get this. I can't wait to tell you what, I literally the other day was looking up ancient mysteries, magic in ancient Egypt. So I'm totally obsessed right now. What was the biggest revelation that you found out?
So this one, I mean, I learned a lot of stuff about Vikings. I wasn't really familiar with that at all, but to opening up the idea that there could have been an army full of at least 1/3 women actually fighting in
Burqa, right? Burqa?
The Burqa warrior. That was the
Burqa
place.
warrior.
It was the Burqa grave, and they just I think it was uncovered in the 90s.
Okay.
But they didn't have the science to test the DNA until recently.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a female, of course, who was like, we should test the gender of this individual.
Right.
And everyone was like, why? It's a man. And
Of
she was like,
course.
no, I'm gonna do it. And she did it, and it was a woman. And so there's a big controversy there because it's very hard for people to accept that women weren't just taking care of the house and the kids back then 1,000 years ago, that they could have been
Fierce warriors,
fierce
leaders.
warriors, yeah.
I just love that you're able to deliver such, you know, because it's a lot to take in.
It's a lot, yeah.
And history is not always, like we said, it's not always what are in the books.
Right, and that's the exciting part, is I just hope it encourages people to ask their own questions and not always just believe whatever you're taught, because also it's always evolving. And so something that we thought we knew for 70 years, they're discovering now is actually not true and that they were wrong about. So all that stuff we learned in school, you have to just sort of throw it away.
Okay, so congratulations on that. I love this show. I'm so happy the Travel Channel made this happen and believed in your vision, because it's like the best. What would you say has been your favorite role up to now?
Probably Jennifer Check and Jennifer's Body.
Thought you only murdered boys.
I go both ways.
There was one part of shooting that where I was eating fake blood out of a fake corpse that was cut open. I'm like hunched over like a, I don't know, like a hyena or like a weird creature. I know. And I was like, this is weird, but I really like it. It's so interesting because obviously that's not something you would ever do.
Right.
In real life, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So that was fun.
Ultimately, what's your dream role?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. I always just wait for, I'm a big believer in that the universe or God brings it to you when it's supposed to come to you, and whatever it is. I feel like if you push yourself too much, because our society puts such importance on always being a workaholic and being overly ambitious and being perfect and always going and going and going and climbing a ladder. And if you could just sit back and be objective and calm and still for a little while, then you might get more the right kind of guidance instead of being pressured to just always be achieving something.
And we actually see that in the episode when you were talking about the spirits. And do you believe in spirits?
Yeah.
I do. So,
yes,
okay,
I
good.
do. I'm a perfect barometer. If you ever want to know if your house is haunted, you call me. Yeah. When I checked into my hotel here, my first hotel, I went into the room and I was like, no, there's at least 3 spirits in this room.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta get out. But it makes traveling hard because sometimes, like, there was one hotel we stayed in where I was like, oof, the first room they tried giving me a beautiful suite, and I was like, I can't stay here, there's a lot of spirits in this room. And they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, just give me a small, tiny room, I can leave a nightlight on, see everything, it'll be okay. And my sister was like, I'll take that suite. So my sister slept there, and then when we checked out, another member of the crew took that room, and he actually had a pretty intense experience with a spirit. And everyone was like, oh my God, you're not crazy. It is haunted. And then they looked it up and did research, and the hotel is built on one of the biggest burial grounds in England.
No way.
Yeah. So I believe there's no question for me. I'm Mrs. Spirit, Ghost,
You're with it.
Psychic, yeah.
You gotta have some type of good advice for people in relationships. You've been married for what, 15 years or something?
I've been married for 8, I've been with him for 14.
Oh, it's like a million years at this point.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice, you know, for a good, healthy relationship?
I think both people have to be willing to take responsibility and to be humble and admit where they are weak, and to be able to seek whatever kind of thing that will help you get through that, whether it's traditional therapy. We do hypnotherapy. That's something that really works.
How is it?
I love it because there are a lot of blocks you have that you don't realize you have that are in your subconscious that come from things that happened to you when you were young. Like, for instance, if you saw your mom get really frightened by a dog when you were 3, you might think you like dogs, but there's a subconscious thing that triggers in your brain where if you're walking down the street and a dog is barking, you might cross the street and you don't even realize that's why you're doing it.
Right.
So you can't sit with a therapist and talk that through.
Right.
Someone has to access your subconscious brain to help you release that. But the point is that both people are willing to work and go, be empathetic to understand how the other person feels.
Empathy.
And to watch your words. So if you can get control over the negative words that you speak, that's very helpful also.
See, everyone take notes, okay? We have the one, the only Dkfox hanging out with us. I feel so inspired now. I'm like, okay, I need to go do better. I need to stop arguing. I need to say sorry to everyone and watch my words because I'm like reckless with my mouth. But thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And I'm so excited about your brand new show. I'm so into this. And please go to Egypt.
I've been, I want to go back though.
Yes, do it. And we need it all.
Okay.
Thank you so much, of course.